Hello everyone, my name is Xenia and welcome to this channel where we talk about entrepreneurship and expat life in Portugal. Well, as you can guess from my background view, I'm not in Portugal yet, I'm in Yerevan in Armenia. And this is the point and the topic of today's video. We're going to discuss how you can get the startup visa for Portugal. And as in our case, we got it in 28 days, which is super short. So I would like to share my experience with you to tell how the program works, what are the advantages or why we have chosen to move to Portugal and start our business there. If you're interested, if you're an entrepreneur willing to start or relocate your business to Portugal, then continue watching this video and you will get a lot of useful information. To put it in a nutshell, Startup Visa program exists in many countries in the world and it allows non-resident entrepreneurs to come to the country, set up a business there and actually get help with it. So what I find the most beautiful thing about those programs is that you don't have to have a real business yet. It can be just a well-thought idea that you prove to be working, so you have a proper business plan, you have a market research and you just come to the country and already start there. Obviously, why the countries need those programs is that because they are attracting investments, they are attracting talented people, they're attracting new ideas, new technical solutions, whatever, and develop their economy and develop the society and infrastructure. So in case of Portugal, this program is pretty new. It has started in 2018. However, it works pretty smoothly. The managing organization is called IAPMEI, the Agency for Competitiveness and Innovation. So basically, it's them who makes the final decision upon your application, and they work closely with the incubators. So they also review your application, but focus more on the business part. In Portugal, there are over 150 incubators, which are all different. Some of them are private, some of them are municipal, university-based, or mixed. So you can always choose what is the best for your project, so who you would like to be hosted by. And therefore the price range is also different. It can be from 0 to 1,000 euros per month. So yeah, that's the good point to start with. You can go to the description section and find the link to go to the IAPMEI website and check the criteria, whether you would be eligible to apply for the startup program. So go ahead and we move to the next point. As a team of a technological startup, we were considering startup visa programs in different countries in Europe. So we ended up choosing between the Netherlands, Spain, and Portugal. And at the beginning, we were like, oh, Portugal, is it really good for developing our startup there? We had a strong connection to Portugal as a holiday destination, obviously Spain as well. So we couldn't believe it has everything we need. However, the more we did our research, the more we asked people around, they all said, yeah, it's going to be actually quite a good place to start with. And here are the advantages or the reasons why we have chosen Portugal. First and foremost, it's the easy entry in terms of money and in terms of documents. So at the time when you apply, when you submit your application, you only have to have 5,200 per team member. So it's the bank statement which says that you have this amount. And in terms of documents, there are only a few papers to receive, which shouldn't normally take a lot of time to get it from your country. And the other advantage of the program is the residence permit. You get it for 2 years for the first time, so when you just come to the country and apply, and then for the second extension you come and you get it for 3 years, which is 5 in total, and which I find super brilliant. Especially considering the fact that you apply as a team, so you can include up to 5 people with your startup, and all of them would be able to extend their residence permits if they stay, of course, with the startup. And then as a team leader, you don't have to worry about them staying in the country and being legal and so on. The next point is going to be super short but super important. Portuguese people can speak English. I mean, it's important on a daily basis because living in the city means that you would always interact with people. So most of them speak English. This is the information from people who are already there. And what I can say from my side is that all the incubators we were in touch with while deciding who is going to host us, they all spoke English. It was no problem, and they would never say you have to learn Portuguese to develop business in Portugal. And the final 2 points, climate and living costs. The living costs are some of the lowest in Europe, and as I told you in the beginning, we were only considering Europe to live in. So Portugal has 10 out of 10 here. And climate, I guess you can imagine that Portugal has a lot of sun and in general just really great nature. So we thought that for moving our team, this would be also the best solution, because people who spend nearly 15 hours next to the laptops every day, just going out and seeing some sun, it would be absolutely needed. The fun fact though is that none of our team has ever been to Portugal. So if you guys watching this video have been there, or if you live there right now, just write us in the comments and say what you think. Is it really cool to live there? How do you like it? Or you can also give us some recommendations. And we move on to the next point. Documents and project criteria. Finally, the point that gives an answer to the initial questions or the title of this video, how to make it in 28 days. So actually, I must say that our case is positively unusual, because 90% of the startups that I know that I've been talking to, they all got their approvals in 2 to 5 months. That's because IAPMEI, first of all, checks all the applications not in their order. And the second point is that you get sometimes the request to resubmit some documents to clarify your business plan, or maybe something else, and that is why it takes them another month to submit, to wait, and so on. And here are my recommendations what you can do to avoid those requests, to avoid waiting for so long. The key points of success here. Number 1, if it's not possible to get a euro account in your own country and you only have it in the local currency, then ask the bank to write an estimated amount in euros at the time when you get the bank statement. Number 2, don't forget to write a declaration saying that you will transfer your money to a Portuguese bank account as soon as you come to Portugal and open it. And you make it as a second page of your bank account statement and attach to your application. Number 3, another declaration. This time you have to write there that you don't have any tax and social security numbers in Portugal. Obviously, if you do have, you just scan them and attach. But if you don't, you have to write it and then sign the paper that you don't have, and that's it. Number 4, a certificate of criminal records doesn't need to be notarized yet at the time of your application. It's only enough that you translate it with the legal agency that puts a stamp and a signature on this translation. Of course, I don't think it's going to be a mistake if you scan the notary document. However, you want to avoid spending much time and money on doing that, so use this tip. Since there were no questions to ask from IAPMEI, I suppose that we did everything correctly. And again, I hugely support startups making these applications by themselves without using agencies or other helpers. So I would gladly share the samples of those declarations which I mentioned above. Just drop me a message on my Instagram, say hi, and I'll just share the text of it. In terms of the project criteria, of course, you can find all information at the IAPMEI website. You go to the legislative order or some other official papers. However, I just go quickly through them to give you more information about what is what. The first criteria is your motivation. So you have to attach the motivation letter in the first part of your application saying why you need Portugal and why Portugal needs your project. So you always have to think about this. Why your project would benefit from being in Portugal. So you have to show the real interest in developing an entrepreneurial project in this country, and you have to show how innovative it's going to be. The second criteria is that your business has to be international. So go global, think global, and they say your business at least has to show the intention to go from the regional or local level to a global level. So as I said in the beginning, Portugal wants to attract more investments, more like bigger businesses, and you want to be one of those. The next point is innovation. So, what is innovation? Some people think that it's about creating something fantastic, something absolute novelty, but this is definitely not about creating a novelty. It's about responding to a real market demand and solving some real problem that people have. So, you're gonna find this, you're gonna say what technology or what knowledge helps you to solve this problem, and here you go, here's your innovation, and you're going to describe it really well to IAPMEI. The next point is the incubators interest. So my recommendation here is to start contacting incubators as soon as possible, which means that you may still be at the stage of filling out your application form, but you already start emailing incubators and saying, hey, this is me, this is my project. Do you have any recommendations to me? Can I improve somehow? So at the time when you submit your final application, you already consider their advice. And the final criteria is the potential. So your startup project has to show the potential of creating jobs and of creating certain income. So you have to create at least 5 jobs within 24 months and to achieve a turnover over 325,000 euros per year in 5 years' time. So after 5 years, you have to show that you reached already this minimum. So guys, this is it from my side for today. Thank you very much for watching this video till the end. And the first thing you want to do is you go to the description box and check whether you are also eligible to apply for the fantastic startup visa program in Portugal. And if yes, hit subscribe to my channel to not miss the future videos, which are going to be more in depth about the application process, the visa process, and many other useful things, and also life in Portugal. So yeah, follow my story and say hi on Instagram, and see you in the next videos. Bye bye.